In this video, we will talk about mapping materials in 3D. And we will see the basic tools for mapping and also the more advanced, which are the tools for Unwrap mapping. So in the previous video, we saw some effects that we can get with materials that can be more realistic, like the displacement effect and also the hair and fur for the grass, and also other effects that are faking some of the things that happen in reality. So the bump, which is basically a displacement effect, but it's a fake displacement. And also we saw the opacity map. So using the displacement, you're gonna have a better result, of course, but it's gonna be heavier. Using the bump, that's gonna be faster to render. And also opacity and cutout, it's a really interesting map if you want to optimize your scene. So instead of creating booleans, for example, to create perforated metal panels like this, you can just use a simple texture, and that's going to create the holes inside the surface. So it's a one way to optimize your scene. So you can see there from a distance the difference between displacement there on the right and the bump on the left of these two brick walls. So from a distance, you cannot really see the difference. So I think that you should use displacement and air and fur and all the advanced features only when it's necessary, only when you are really close. Now I also created there a swimming pool using the bump effect with the noise. So we also saw a little bit about the noise that we can use to simulate something that is not totally uniform. So like the surface of a swimming pool is never too flat. It always has some noise. So by applying just the map of the noise, we can get the wave effect instead of actually creating waves in 3D and increasing the number of polygons. So the bottom line is, when you can lower down the number of polygons in your scenes, do it, because it's going to be then easier for you to work in the preview and faster when you need to render the scene. So you can see here I just apply a noise texture and a reflective material, because if it's not reflective, if it's transparent, I will see through that and I will see the terrain beneath that. So also when you need to do exterior renderings, you may want to place a mirror instead of a glass on windows and doors, because otherwise you're going to see the inside. But if you don't want to see what's behind those glass panels, you can fake glass by using just the mirror. So just going to create, you can create a glass and just take off the transparency from it. So this is a glass, and you can activate the background there. So all you need to do is go to the transparency there and set it to 0 or something real low. So the important thing is that you will not see behind that. So you can hide things that you don't want to be seen. So sometimes, again, for optimization, you might want to use a scene just for exteriors and another scene just for interiors. But you can also do both if you want, but that's going to be just heavier. Now I'm also going to increase the glossiness, because I want to have total reflection. And again, this is to hide what's behind. Also, perhaps adjust a little bit the metalness. So all the basic parameters that we learned in the first video about materials. So everything we learned so far, we can just use it now to our advantage. We can customize the materials. We can start from a preset, from a physical material, and then we can create our own PBR material, physically based render material. And we talked about materials, we talked about textures, we even introduced the concept of mapping, and we talk about multi-materials to apply to different material ID on an object, or to object like windows and doors. So we covered pretty much everything about the materials, but we're gonna talk here about the mapping and other mapping tools that you have to work even more precisely and specifically with the texture. So you can do like also like packaging. You can study the graphics on your object, like for industrial design, marketing, advertising. So you can manage all the different parts of your object. Now you can see I'm also adding some lights. And again, we talked about how to illuminate our scene. We talk about the global illumination. And so also here you can set up the lighting as we saw, but we're also going to see later other techniques and other features about the exterior and interior lighting and rendering. So again, you can see this is a brick wall right here, and I'm using the map scaler. We saw that's the first and easiest tool that you can use if you want to do quick mapping. And also I am gonna add here to this wall the chamfer. Now I always say never leave anything with a perfect corner, with a straight corner. Always add a fillet or a chamfer. That's gonna help the render a lot. So always try to do that when you have a brick wall or a whatever, like a shelf, whatever is too square, too straight. Try to always add a chamfer. Now I can do it also here for my windows. You can see there I just change this into editable poly and use the chamfer. But you can use the chamfer on the overall geometry. Now be careful only that the smoothing groups are right. You shouldn't have smoothing groups. You shouldn't have smoothness. Otherwise it's gonna create a strange gloss effect. But we're gonna see that later. Well, just make sure that everything is straight in terms of smoothing groups. So again, I'm gonna use map scaler, chamfer. These are usually two quick modifiers that you can add to have better results with your objects. And also this is the terrain that we created with the iron fur, and with a little bit of soft poly modeling, you can just manage all those like movement of the terrain. You can make it less perfect, less plain. So again, we saw how to apply some of the most important textures and how to get realistic effects out of these textures that we adjust in the material to create a PBR materials. But we still need to see some more about the mapping. Mapping is good here, but it's not perfect. It's not, you can see that in some parts it needs to be adjusted. Now this is an example of Unwrap mapping. So you can see here that the statue looks really realistic, and in all its parts there is particular refinement. There are details here in 3D, fake 3D details, and also very well placed texture. And this is an Unwrap map. This is how Unwrap map works. So usually you cannot use like tiling and standard texture with this. You can see here that you need to create a customized map which is gonna place a particular effect on all the parts of the subject. Now you can see this is a glossiness, so it's gonna tell where the material is gonna be more glossy or less glossy, and this is the diffuse, and this is the normal. Now those are all details that are just fake. They are only gonna show up using the texture. So when we talk about mapping, usually we talk about UV mapping, which means X epsilon. So usually the map is in 2D while the character or the subject is in 3D. So that's the difficulty, to place a 2D map onto a 3D object. So the map is going to be flat, and all those are parts of the 3D object. So everything is going to look like flattened out, but at the end it should result like a